Hello, Sergey. Uh, so today we'll try to talk about some project management things. If you sometimes looking for how the project become to some house, and project manager in a quiet way just smile and talk everything under control. So you're in right place. Today we'll discuss with Sergey, a very experienced project manager, Scrum Master, how the projects as it is, how the better to manage it, and how the project managers, let's say, transfer the house and difficult projects in some results for the customers. So Sergey, it's nice to meet you. Please tell a little bit more about yourself and about your experience, first of all.
Okay, so I already have around 15 years of experience. My career started around 2010, and it was Java development actually. The most my experience contains Java development, JavaScript, Angular development, so I was a full stack developer before I switched to project management. And once, if such question will arise, why I started career as a manager, I was wondering how everything works on front end, back end, and then I decided that it's quite interesting to understand why we are prioritizing features with this way, and why we communicate with the client in some directions and so on. And then I switched to Scrum Mastering, and after all I became a project manager. So yeah, the last 6 years I'm working as a manager.
Okay, so good. Thank you for sharing. This means that you have not only management, but as well technical experience, right?
Background, correct. It helped me to become a bridge between business and development team.
Okay, very good. Do you think in general is it important to have the project manager some technical background, technical skills, or PMs can move some projects without it?
I've seen in my experience that project managers without technical background can be great leaders, and they can solve different crisis situations, but during their experience, if it comes to talk with the development team regarding some technical stuff, of course this gap has matter, and that's why usually such managers trying to learn something on flight, so that they becoming little bit technical as well. Finally.
Okay. It's interesting because if the customer, as it is, decide to be as a project manager, you need to be ready to learn more, not only management things, but also the technical thing as well. Okay. Again, that's why probably dedicated project management role is pretty important for each product, each project as well. Okay, maybe you can remember some specific things in the project management, like strange expectation of the customer, or situation where the project almost died and you have ability to set up and align everything with the customer with ready success, let's say.
In my experience, I have such project when the team actually there was a development team, I would say, and the client, and it was the project with such configuration, like a client, a junior business analyst, and developer. and that's it. And they tried to work like this around half a year, and then find out that the client all the time not satisfied with outcomes that this combination delivered, because BA has some lack of knowledge how to describe user stories and tasks. Yeah, user stories, if somebody doesn't know, it's some explanations how from user experience some functionality has to be worked. And when this business analyst just wrote some common explanation how this feature needs to be worked, there was a lot of gaps in requirements, so that developer had the has own vision, how it can be implemented and integrated his decisions into working functionality. And when BA tested this, of course he closed the tasks that it worked as expected, and then they have been showing this to the client, and the client wasn't satisfied with results because he had another in the mind, and it completely was the failure of the delivery. So that they decided to integrate project manager, and at this point I was integrated into this team. I convinced the client that in addition we need a QA person who will be responsible for requirements, because it's really necessary not only to have a BA who will be describing requirements, and QA who will be testing the work of combination between BA and developer, because if a BA has a lack of experience in testing, he or she won't be able to test some edge cases that really has a matter when the product move into production. So that after this we added QA to the team, and this configuration start working good, because even BA had a lack of experience, QA already had a technical and business expertise actually, so that he was able to ask some questions during our sessions with BA and client to understand what acceptance criteria can be added to the tasks, so that he would have this checklist or instruction how to test functionality. And in this case, developer can have a transparent and clear understanding what has to be implemented.
Okay, very interesting. So you know that it's pretty often when the customers come to us and say, okay, I think that I will be as a project manager by myself, and I also will be QA, but I am not sure that I at all have experience with it. It's my first project. So from this, I understand and want to line that it's important not only having a QA and business analysis. It's very important that such persons have great experience and even industry specific experience, let's say.
Yeah. Yes, for sure, because if you're working with health insurance, you need somebody who will understand how it works and so on. Yeah, definitely. What politics and compliance is there.
Okay. If we come to this field, let's try to discuss some specific cases we have in our experience, some interesting cases, and maybe you have some ideas and some feedback how you should proceed with it. Some time ago, we have, let's say, a request, and it's coming and happen in general when the customer, especially, let's say, last time, come to the project and say, I want AI features in my project. I don't know where, and I'm not sure if I know why, but I need to add something from AI and I need to have AI in my marketing website and so on. How, as a project manager, you can proceed with it, and what your recommendation do you have in this situation to be sure that it will be really valuable for the users?
Okay, got it. No, actually, first of all, we need to understand what's the source of such ideas, because the client come up with this idea somewhere, maybe the friends, or he did some competitor analysis and understood that some features requires to be improved and replaced with AI agents or something like this. In this case, when we will understand the source, we will be closer to the vision of the client, of this client, and then we need to understand how much time do we have. Maybe the client desire to have results already in 1 week or tomorrow, yeah, or we have for instance 2-3 months to do some POC, yeah, proof of concept for the client, and then we need to understand, do we have an expertise in our company, agency, or whatever in the team who will be implementing this. And in this case, during communication or implementing this POC, we will understand the budget and effort and timelines, actually project management triangle, yeah, during which one we will find out points in which we will connect with the vision of the client. So that I would dig into these areas first, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. As I understand that idea to split the work and try to, let's say, moving by small parts and see the results on each stage.
Yeah, like a discovery phase, when we understanding, as I mentioned, the source, and do we have a competitor analysis, or which features need to be covered with AI features and so on. Then we are talking about some POC, and it takes a time for sure if we are not vibe coders. But if there is some features that can be used with vibe coding, and right now it's a trend and it's becoming much more popular, and if you won't be integrated into this trend, maybe you will miss something, I would sure, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned the discovery phase. It's very good because we have some videos in our channel about this. That's just let us to remember again that it's important at all, let's say. Okay. One more situation which is also happen so often when you, let's say, finish with discovery phase, build some roadmap for the project, but after the starting working, the client become and say, okay, let's change such thing, let's move another way at all. What you as a project manager trying to do in this situation when it's like some risk to that house may happen, yes, on project, by a lot of the change requests and so on. And what your experience is it? Maybe you have some examples and you can share it.
Yeah, I had experience with such kind of clients, and as far as I understand, you're talking about like micromanagement from the client side, yeah. And of course, the team can be harmed with such experience, and client, I would say it's not a bad client actually. It's a lack of communication plan. And I don't remember exactly what's the naming, but we have like 3 communication types, like pull, push, and exchange. And it means this client trying to pull some information from you it means that you are not providing some reports, or you don't have enough things for this client to show him that everything on track, or he has some questions. And for sure, you in this case you need to set up communication plan. And usually it's really cool to understand at the beginning of the project, even before you would roll this roadmap of the project. So you would agree that you will have twice a week some things, and every Friday you will provide some reports for him, for she, whatever, and this will contain this, and so on. And it should be agreed with the client, so that the client will be calm, relaxed, and the team will be bothered with a lot of questions from the client side. So that sometimes you need to practice push communication flow, when you just sending to the client as much as possible information. So, and during the sync communications, you exchange with the client with some information. For instance, you can ask some requirements that needs to be clarified. You are providing at which stage are you right now with the team, and so on. So it's a really good opportunity to create this communication plan and agree on some rules with the client, and client will be satisfied in most cases in this way, because he or she will see that you are controlling even the communication and trying to be as much valuable, and to bring the much value and be more transparent in your communication. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And in this way, that as I understand, the project manager may have some specific skills and must be responsible for setting right communication structure during such using such skills. It's again, let's say, help us to understand that when the customer client decide to come without project manager, he must have such skills to be sure that he can align right communication structure even directly with the developer. So it's also important because not all clients unfortunately know about this. And do you think do you see some risk, and which risk do you see if such structure is not aligned? Yes, if the for example junior BA business analytic or client as it is decide to manage project but not set up right communication structure and don't have enough experience for this, which risks should be on the project if such happen? It's probably we now come back to the
One of the
situation
examples. Yeah.
you mentioned. Yeah.
I can say that it can be the budget can be increased and extended, because a lot of time was wasted on the features that wasn't desired by the client, or BA or developer didn't listen to the client's needs, and so on. So that we have timing, budget, even not properly chosen stack of technology, can affect our project. What else? Time to market, for sure. Every client thinking about time to market. So if you have some competitors on the market, for sure you would like to be the front line. But if you don't have this communication flow strictly built, you would fail, in this competition. Something like this,
Okay.
Even in this case, you would maybe lose somebody from the team or the client decided to move to another vendor.
Could you tell, please, in general, how you build the structure when the project starts? Yes, how you try to build it in the right way in terms of communication, project structure at all, development, and so on. Do you have some, let's say, samples or something in mind?
Yeah, for sure. During my experience, I collected several samples actually. Yeah, like Excel sheet. Yeah, and as you know, each project has a stakeholder, so you need to build like a stakeholders matrix. Yeah, who's responsible for and so on. You need to build this communication plan, when, which meeting, who will facilitate, who is required participants and so on. For sure, scope. You need to prepare some scope list. Actually during the pre-sale activity, you are building. No, in my experience, actually, you are building like the list of features and splitting this on like backend, frontend, QA. How much time do you need for UI/UX designer, project manager, and so on, so that you are like attaching this file with all this information and putting there the hours, the budgets, and the client can just reorder it based on the pricing, yeah, or effort needed for implementing these features. So yeah, this is this one of the items that needs to be in this plan and project structure. What else? For sure, you can integrate here rate, risk sections, or assumptions in some versions, issues and dependencies. Rate method, where you just set in the risks, list of risks, how they affect the project and their probability and so on. For sure, you need to think with some scenarios how you will mitigate these risks. Of course, it depends on the methodology that you would be using during the delivery. It will be Kanban or Scrum. You need to think about this at the beginning of project as well. Probably this is like a starting pack that definitely save you from the lot of mistakes that can be happen.
You know a lot of stuff, to be honest, so I just would only imagine if I, as a customer, try to do it myself, how many things I can skip and how many risks I can have in the project. Okay, thank you so much. Let's try to imagine some strange or more difficult request. As we can see in our experience, we mentioned in our video on YouTube.
Sorry, and I forgot about team structure for sure, because if you are talking about some technologies, you need to understand which team structure will be in the project. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just about the previous question.
Okay. Thanks. By the way, let's say some time ago we have the request from the customer who would like to build Tinder. Yes, with again AI features, of course, which will help with matching of people and make some help with communication. And the customer have come and say, okay, I want to have a competitor of Tinder with AI, and I have some $7,000 of budget. Can you build it for me for 1 or 2 months? I want to start reaching the money. How you work with such interesting and strange requests at all? Have you tried to align with it? Yes, and maybe you have some methods, some instruments, how to work with such type of clients.
Nice question, actually. We will hire white coder for this. client who will build everything. Put in 3 words, like I would like to build a Tinder, copy of Tinder and so on. Yes, if we're talking seriously, we need to understand that well, $7,000 it's a quite small budget, yeah, and for sure we need to understand with which budgets we are working in the company, yeah. For instance, we can have gate like we are not taking projects with budget less like $30,000 or something like this. But if we have such kind of client, for instance, we need to talk about which functionality this client would like to have, use some prioritization method to understand how it would I would say like we need to understand which technology we can use here, because it's definitely not the complete full application for this budget, so that it can be a POC, and maybe this client will participate in some investment rounds and needs to show something. For instance, we can prepare full markups, yeah, how this application should look like, yeah, and his or her investors can just click and see like interface will look like, but it won't be the working prototype, yeah, it would be just a design vision. So there is a lot of options, I would say, and for sure we can try some AI opportunities yet to build something similar to the vision of the client. So it depends. It depends on our flow and work with such kind of clients. Because during pre-sale, as I said, we can just build the list of functionality, set some timings and budgets for each feature, and the client can just prefer to have some prototype, but with our vision. For instance, if we are a company that already built a lot of Tinder like applications, for sure we have something out of the box solutions, and can be, and maybe it's our competitor feature, yeah, on the market, so that a lot of people just asking us to build Tinder-like applications, and we can provide some already prototypes, and we don't need to spend time of UI UX designer to work on this, so that we already have something prepared, and it would cost less money to the client. So a lot of opportunities and ways how to work with such kind of clients.
Okay, very good. It's pleasure to hear that at all we have such opportunities to align the budget expectation even with such technical and feature expectations. Yes, as I understand, the right thing again is discovery phase, and it also, of course, depend on the experience, our experienced team in such industry fair. Okay, thank you for your answers. And now I like to propose some blitz, let's say, some fast but short questions to you to help our audience to understand some pretty similar but important things, let's say. So let me ask you also, what factors do you consider when try to see and understand that it will be difficult to working with the customer?
Well, first of all, when the client has an opinion about all decisions in the team, starting from the technical solutions, organizational structure, and so on. Because when the client trying to push some technical ideas, when we already have a technical team actually on board, yeah, and it becoming the competitor activity between the client and the team. And for sure, at the beginning, we need to gain some trust. But if the client just has his or her own opinion and don't want to change it, even if it's really unlogical, and even when we providing some proofs. So yeah, we had such experience, and in such kind of stuff we just agreed with if we don't have such possibility to negotiate a technical solution, we agree with this and doing what the client wants. Yeah, because who paying money order the music. And when the client, another point, when the client doesn't provide enough requirements. For instance, we need to implement something and the client's keeping the meetings, postponing them to some period of time. So yeah, at this point, of course, you see that there exists some lack of time for this project from the client side, or maybe some political games, because sometimes such thing present as well. So this is like several red flags. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How do you think, how many meetings project manager must have in different stages of the project?
It depends really on the different stages. If it's a discovery phase, it can be each day for several meetings. If it's already implementation, it depends on the project, of course. For sure, it can be just dailies, or it can be some stand-ups one or two times a week, for instance. But it depends who is the stakeholders of those meetings. If we are talking about team, so usually project manager has some day-to-day activity with all team members. If we are talking about the client, it can be, as I said, 2 times per week or once a week, something, or bi-weekly even, yeah. And if you're sending some reports for a certain period of time agreed with the client. So yeah, it depends.
Okay. Could you tell, and what do you think about which most rich phrase of project manager at all?
Rich price?
A phrase, yes. What phrase project manager talk in the project again and again, which can save the money to the customers and so on? Do you have something like that in mind?
Are you talking about the most expensive phrase in project?
Yes.
No, it's maybe I would say it's like what's the status, yeah, and what's the status? Yeah, provide me status report, something like this, yeah. So yeah, because why I would say like this, because when you are communicating with the team, you usually need to pull some information, yeah, to understand the context and what's going on and so on. And maybe it's like if you would like do them like in Google Analytics, yeah, the most frequently words in project management. So this is like what's going on and so on. So and the clients actually values this because usually they don't have enough time, energy, willing to go and push people about something, yeah, and the project manager doing it, and the clients usually saying thank you for for this action. So yeah, I would say we are not taking into account that project manager usually communicating a lot, yeah, about different topics, but this is like the most frequent words. Yeah.
Okay, it's very interesting because it's a pretty simple word and question, but save a lot of money at all. Okay, good. What difference do you see between the projects? Let's say two projects, one start with the project manager, yes, another one start without project manager. What difference for your opinion, and maybe what risks is if the customer starts the project without project managers?
Oh, I think we already covered this previously, and as I said, and actually we can go just with PMP, areas like schedule management, risk management, time management, budget management, people management, all those areas under the risk.
Okay. Can you tell about maybe top red flags which can help you to understand that it's better to even don't start working with the client?
Could you please come again, because I didn't get your first words?
Yeah, for sure. Could you please tell about your personal top red flags, yes, which can help you to understand that it's better even not to start working with such client?
So we are not talking about difficult client, we are talking about the client that we won't work with him or she. It depends on the country, I would say. For instance, if this client under some sanctions, for instance, yeah, if we have this threshold that the budget of the client doesn't match our minimal expectations, yeah, or from business perspective, if domain it's not our domain, I would say, yeah. What else? No, it's like just several stuff that we can keep in the mind during this. Of course, some disrespectful behavior for sure, yeah. Sometimes I had such experience during pre-sales when some of the people tried to scam our company actually and hack. When I participated in some pre-sale activity, the client sent some archives and asked to run these projects and test it and see what's going on and so on. And we faced with this scripts contains some dangerous code, yeah, that scanned your computer and so on, trying to find crypto wallets key and so on. And after this case, we started trying such projects in virtual isolated machines and so on. So yeah, when the client has some bad purposes, so definitely this is a red flag. It's not a client, it's just a scammer. Say.
Okay. So in general, as I understand, the project manager, it's the master, it's person who can predict house, yes, who can not allow to happen it. Solve conflicts, make some ownership on the team, save the face at all when the difficult situation, when the situation, the project.
I would say that project manager with entrepreneur mind can predict a lot of stuff, and if it's not predictable, he can act in the total chaos. Yeah. So yeah, if you're ready to be in chaos and organize it, so yeah, the project management can be your choice.
Okay, very good. Even if it's difficult to you to ask 3 times per day what's going on. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for such kind of answers and for sharing your experience. It's very helpful. And by the way, I would like to share that as Sergey is a huge and experienced project manager and Scrum Master. Additionally to it, he has his own
Udemy course.
Udemy course, personal course. Sergey, maybe you can share some words about this course, how it could be helpful.
We will attach it under the video. Sure.
Okay.
So
You can
this
see
is
in the description.
yeah. It's focused like when you would like to switch from QA developer. Actually, my path. Yeah, when I switched to development to project management. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for that. Be sure that some places is free there. You can reach out, and if you are going to build your own product and you don't have enough experience in project management and want to educate and know much more about it to be sure that you can manage developer or even team, please feel free to look through the link and learn more about this from Sergey perspective. And the last thing I would like to ask you, if you see the video until this time, please feel free to share in the comment which strange situation and difficult situation, how situation will happen in your project, in your experience. Maybe some jokes, some smiling situation, anywhere, anyway, feel free to comment, to write the things, and we'll discuss it. We'll see which situation is more strange, let's say. Feel free to write comments, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the watching. Sergey, thank you for sharing your experience again, and I hope see you in next videos.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.